right, welcome. It's Colin Daniel here from riffninja.com, and this is lesson number 5 in a series of 5, and this is our final lesson, inspired by Muddy Waters' Mannish Boy. And this is for beginners, but this is a very cool riff to learn. It's a foundational thing. It covers lots of different techniques that you need in your toolbox for skills as a budding guitar player, especially for the blues. Now, this is the ending. I wanted to talk briefly about the beginning and then the ending, because basically we've got this riff, and you know, Muddy's singing this song, he's telling a story, and this riff is pounding away in the back, and he's telling the story about the Mannish Boy, right? And so you have to make it interesting, and there has to be a start and an end. So if you were going to jam this with a buddy, or you know, you want to complete the song, right? You want to complete. You don't want to learn like just a riff and not the whole song. This is what this is about, is completing it, right? So the intro is fairly straightforward. You just start with the riff, and I talked about that in earlier lessons where we just count 1, 2, 3. And then at one point you start telling your story, right? The ending is something else. All the endings are different in all the versions, but the one particular version that I liked had a cool ending, and I thought I'd share that with you. And so when you decide that you're going to end, I would say give yourself a couple of riffs before you actually end, because you don't want to end right after the last vocal part happens. You want to give the music a little space, and of course Muddy Waters just did that naturally, and the band kind of knew what direction he was going to go in just by his body movements and the way he did things. We don't have that luxury or that experience. So at the end, if you're wanting to create a jam with this, or play this with a band, or even play this with another jam buddy or something, you need to have an ending. This is a great ending. And so what I do is, after you're finished telling your story, is I'd play this riff a couple more times and then put the ending in, you know, and the riff is going to come off the bass riff. So that's the first thing you need to learn, the run up. So as soon as you hit that first day, you know, the end day of your bass riff, then you strike it twice. Then you go up to the C, hit it once, then hammer the C sharp. Now this is a new technique for you as a beginner. Hammer means exactly what it says it is. You are taking your fingertip, the bone of your finger, and hammering down on the string as hard as you can and getting it to ring, because I'm not picking it. It sounds like I'm picking it, but I'm not. I pick the first note, which is the C, and then hammer the C sharp. The C is on the 3rd fret, the C sharp is on the 4th. Pick, hammer. So it's... And if you have to practice that technique for a while, that's okay. Just sit there and do that until you get it really good. Pick, hammer, pick, hammer. You want that hammer to be so strong that it almost sounds like a pick. And you won't get that very good with the flat of your finger. You've got to use more of the tip. And once you get that, then you just put it together. So, you know, you come off of that A. And that's the next move, right? So 1, 2, 3. Now there's a whole bunch of different ways to finger it. Definitely when you're hammering it, because I tell you to use, in the earlier lessons, I tell you to use your 2nd finger for the C. And one of the reasons why I do that is to set you up for the hammer, because your 3rd finger is one of your stronger fingers, and it's a good one to learn to hammer with. So that's one of my reasons for doing that. So you're going to go off the A, you strike the A twice, right? Hit the C and hammer the C sharp. Hit the C sharp one more time. Hit the open D. Hit the D sharp twice. And then the E on the 4th string, 2nd fret. So and of course for the D sharp and the E on the 2nd fret, 4th string, use your 1st and 2nd fingers. That's probably the easiest for you to do. So 1, 2, 3. Once you get to that, there's one more little trick. Hit the A bass note, and you play this 7th chord. It ends up being an A 7th. It goes from an A flat 7th to an A 7th. And it's a bit of a bar chord. Again, another thing you need to learn to do a bit. And this is easy because you only have to bar 3 strings, right? Start by barring the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string at the 1st fret, and then putting your 2nd finger down on the 1st string, 2nd fret. And that gives you your A flat 7th, and this is A 7th right here. And you combine that with what I just showed you, the single note line. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hit the open A. And you can let that A ring out because there's a bit of a dissonant factor that works in with that, meaning a little bit of tension. You might want to separate that and practice that a bit first. Because I'm assuming you're a total beginner, and if you're struggling with a few things like that, definitely just separate it. Practice hitting the A, and then strumming that A to A flat to A 7th chord. Okay. Now if you got that, you can put it all together. So you learned it now. Once you've got that, you want to learn to come off of the riff at the end, right? So you do, I'd suggest you do a couple of riffs and then go for the ending. So 1, 2, 3. Pretty cool, eh? So now I got a little song for you. It's all about stretching myself and having to find something new for you beginners to inspire you using what I've just taught you. I'm going to tell you a little story, and it's my example of how you can use what I've just taught you in a practical manner. And so I'll have an intro where I started before I tell you my story. And then I'll tell you my story while the riff's going on. And then I'll come out of that and I'll end it with the ending I just taught you. Okay, this is for all my dedicated, hardworking students. 1, 2, 3. Sitting here with a blank brain, looking for a riff to teach and train. Gotta look hard, I gotta try to find a cool riff for you guys. So I get on the internet jet, a Muddy Waters video on the net. Well, I had to learn every part to give you all a good start. See you all later. Have fun. If you like this lesson, come and check out my beginner's electric blues guitar lesson at riffninja.com.